Hi, this is Dawn Haight, and I have 4 projects to share with you from the Close to My Heart Holiday Cheer Kit. We'll be using the whimsical stamp set and a couple of stamps from the traditional stamp set. You will need the Shaker Windows thin cuts in order to do this project. So I've cut the circles with that thin cut, and I've run them through my Xyron sticker maker. So off screen I've stamped this snowman and I've colored him with the Spectrum Noir markers, and now I'm going to emboss the base of the snow globe using that stamp. And first I hit it with my anti-static tool and then the Versamark sticky ink, and the black embossing powder will stick to the image. So I'm getting ready to sprinkle the embossing powder on it. Just sprinkle and then tap it off. And flick it a couple times to get rid of any stray bits. And hit it with the heat tool, and the embossing powder will melt. Now we're getting ready to assemble the shaker portion of the snow globe. And I like to use the Bonding Memories glue stick to assemble. And I use my bone folder to smooth it out and get rid of any bumps and bubbles. And then I'm attaching this to the chipboard piece to make the ornament. My snowman I fussy cut. Right here I'm deciding which color of glitter paper to use over the top. I fussy cut him out, and then I am gluing him onto the base piece. That is mint cardstock that I cut out with the thin cuts. So now we're ready to start the assembly of the shaker portion of the ornament. All of the acetate circles come with a protective sheet, so you need to remove that. And I remove the outer circle of the foam and attach the acetate circle to it. And then you remove the backing and leave the circle of foam. The squares of foam tape in the middle are extra, and just save those for another project. And the sequins are extremely staticky, so if you use a powder tool or the anti-static powder pouch from Ranger, that'll keep the static a little bit more under control. So you put a few sequins in the middle of your ornament and attach your acetate cover over it. And I found that using the glitter circles are a little bit easier to work with than regular cardstock or patterned paper, because it's a heavier weight cardstock. So right here I'm choosing which color to use, and I decided the silver looked the best. The silver sequins are inside the shaker. And I've attached that. And then the sentiment, I'm using glue dots to attach that. And then he's all finished. So we'll move on to the next one. I'm going to speed up the steps going forward because it's the same process. This one's with the wreath, and I'll just take us through stamping the center of it and the decoration on the bottom of the ornament. So I used candy apple ink and I'm stamping the sentiment Joy in the middle of the wreath. I colored the wreath with the Spectrum Noir tri-blend markers off screen. That's our stamp chamois to clean stamps with. You just wet it down, and I keep it next to me to clean the stamps. And it doesn't require any of the stamp cleaner, spritz, or anything, just water. So jumping ahead, I've assembled the shaker portion of this ornament, and I'm adding the glitter paper and deciding where to put the little sprig of holly on the outside, and I'll be attaching that with a glue dot. So that's all finished. Now I'm going to show you how to use the shakers and turn them into Christmas cards. So off screen, I've stamped and colored the Santa, and you will need the topper of the ornament from the custom ornament thin cut set. I've cut that out of foil paper. I used black glitter paper and diamond stickles to decorate the rim of Santa's hat. So jumping ahead, this shaker is all assembled with the gold sequins, and that's ready to attach to the card. So I'm adding the ornament topper with the gold foil paper. Now I have not used the chipboard piece as a base because we're going to attach the shaker portion to the card. So we'll go through the assembly of this card. It's a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 standard card. I've cut that in the black cardstock for the base. And the Candy Apple Holly Jolly pattern paper is cut at 4 inches by 5 1/4 so that it leaves a black border around it. So I'm attaching that piece now, and I'm using the Bonding Memories glue stick to attach this piece to the black piece. I like to use this adhesive. You can bust out a lot of cards. A little goes a long way. Off screen, I have stamped the sentiment, the Merry Christmas sentiment from the traditional stamp set in clover, and I've stamped that on white daisy cardstock and dovetailed the ends, and positioning everything to see where exactly I want to lay down that strip of shimmer trim. Just kind of working with it to figure out where the best place is. And here's a use for that foam tape. I'm going to attach the sentiment using those little foam squares. Continuing to build the card. The ornament I'm going to attach with the Tombow white glue. It's a thicker glue than the Bonding Memories, and because it's a more dimensional piece and a little bit heavier, I felt like it needed a thicker glue to stick to the front of that card. So that one's all finished. There you go. The next one, I'm going to skip through all the steps. I'm using the window thin cuts piece with a piece of white glitter paper. I've assembled the shaker portion of the snowman ornament. There's Holly Jolly red striped, and then the reverse is the green with the snow on it. So now I'm building the card. Again, I'm using the black cardstock to make a frame around the edges. I'm attaching that to the card base. So we'll go ahead and start building this card. That piece goes down, and then I'm going to attach the green Holly Jolly paper on top, leaving a border, and then I'm attaching the multi-square thin cut on top. I've used the white glue for both the white glitter paper and the ornament piece to attach to the front of the card, and again the gold foil ornament topper. and the sentiment that says warm wishes I'm attaching with glue dots. And the last decoration is that little sprig of holly, also attaching it with a glue dot. So that card is all finished. I will make a list of all the extra supplies needed to make these projects. I'll list everything below with links. And I appreciate you spending time with me today. And please hit that subscribe button. Also, if there's anything you'd like to see me create or demonstrate, please leave a comment and let me know. Thank you.